In Wake Up Monday this morning, you know, buying a new home may be the biggest purchase you will ever make, and everyone certainly wants to get a good deal. There's a lot of great deals out there right now. So how can you avoid some of the common pitfalls? Joining us this morning is Joseph Diasano from Keller Williams Realty, here to talk about the common mistakes that people make when buying a home. So, Joe, somebody comes into your office over at Keller Williams, you're a first-time home buyer, let's say. What's the number one point you want to get across to them when they're getting into this venture of buying a home?
That's a great question. The first thing that I usually tell them is to go and get approval financially to figure out what the best offer is in terms of getting a good loan that fits their specific needs. And so that's the first thing I do.
I was going to say, is that vital to get a pre-approval for your mortgage before going out, and why is that important?
Yeah, it sets them up for really good success, because a lot of times what happens is when they're looking for their home, they make an offer. If there's a competitive offer on the table, the sellers typically determine whether or not you have all your things in line. Usually it's a pre-approval letter or not.
A lot of people obviously deciding whether they want to hire a realtor or if they want to go on this on their own. You're a realtor. You obviously want people to come to you for business.
Absolutely.
But what are some of the positives that you can bring to the table that somebody wouldn't be able to get if they went out on their own?
Absolutely. There's experience that we have. We do this every day. It'd be like getting a surgery and doing it yourself, right?
Right, sure.
So, good.
Yeah, I remember what I was telling you before we went on the air when I bought my first home. It was literally the second home that I'd ever visited. And I think that was a mistake because I found some things in the neighborhood that I wasn't crazy about. Do you see people doing that a lot, maybe making a decision too quickly? Absolutely.
A lot of times they even do that even before getting a pre-approval. They'll jump in the car, start searching for a home, and just drive around. And that's not really effective. You need to gauge the services of a realtor who has experience in that neighborhood, who has that experience and does it all the time.
Going back to the financing, everything they say in life is negotiable. What are some tips to negotiate in the lower finance rates, I suppose, with the company that's going to give you that money?
Absolutely. I usually recommend them to shop one or two lenders just to see what services they offer. You know, typically the rates are going to be fairly about the same. The matter is whether or not their experience, their level of communication, are they going to, at the end of the day, going to bring that loan to the table when you're sitting there in front of the seller and wanted to close and take that home. Describe the timing.
That's always, you know, right now I would imagine is a great time to buy because there's some deals. Talk about the role that timing comes into when you're deciding when you want to buy.
Yeah, usually I recommend people to plan about 30 to 45 days before they actually start the process, because that's typically how long it takes once you go into contract. And so, you know, some days, some times of the year is better than others. Typically they say the summer is for the buyer because there's a lot of inventory. But you may get better deals near the end of the year because things slow down typically.
Very quickly, just to recap, number one biggest mistake in your mind that you've seen people make?
Buying too much house.
Too much house, too much mortgage. Very good.
Absolutely.
Joe Diasano.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.